Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about Angela, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Steven.
Hello, gentlemen, and hello, everyone out there listening. So we are a little late, but that's fine. We're recording a day later than normal just because of logistical reasons. So, uh, hopefully you bore with us. Anyway, we have a lot to discuss today because we attended the Appalachian Cup second qualifying event, the one that was held at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston. But before we cover that, let's talk about AMG news. I don't think there's any AMG news to discuss, but there are upcoming tournaments that we should call out. All right, coming up in August, on the 16th is the Akron Brew Brawl. That is the 16th of August. It is in Akron at Missing Falls Brewery, and it will be the third Appalachian Cup tournament. I have attended the Akron Brew Brawl since it started, and it is great. It is a great event. Highly recommend that people attend. Then coming up on the 23rd and the 24th is the Utah Cup, held in Farmington, Utah. This is a major event that I believe that on the 23rd, on the Saturday, it is going to be a gymnastics event, and then on the 24th, it is going to be the normal tournament. So if you are in the western part of the United States, head on over to Utah and have some fun. Okay, so
One more, Fred.
Oh, there's one more?
Yeah, on August
What is-
2nd, there will be a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia.
I see. I was not aware of this one.
That's because I just figured out what that date was.
Okay, all right. Then on August the 2nd will be the next tournament that we will have. And this one will be nowhere near as well attended as the one we just had.
Hey, shut your mouth. Maybe it will.
All right, well, let's move right into the tournament that we attended. So I was playing my Wakanda list, and I'll kind of go over it as I go along. It's kind of a Wakanda Asgard hybrid. What were you guys playing? Just like don't give the full list, but just give a quick flavor of what you were going through.
Okay, I'll go first.
How about you, Brad? Why don't you go first?
It does help when Fred picks one of us to go.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was playing Apocalypse, of course. I'm not to 50 games yet. I am playing a modified list to the one I talked about in whatever episode I talked about my full list, because mostly because of the changes to Gambit. Honestly, I wanted to play him more often, and I think I've talked about that before. But this is the first tournament I tried that at, so I had Gambit instead of Mr. Sinister, and I had Beast instead of Deadpool. And then I had some tactics cards changed, but it's other than that, it's the same list.
Okay, and Steven, what list did you bring?
I was running a Baron Strucker Hydra with a Cabal Flex into Red Skull Master of the World, and I brought my two most recent painted models, being Abomination and the Wrecking Crew. But besides that, I was running Winter Soldier Operative, Spider Woman, Spaceman, Hood, Arnim Zola, Baron Zemo, in addition to those aforementioned models.
All right. Okay, well, let's hop into our matchups. I'll go first. In my round one, my first matchup was against Les from the Pittsburgh area. And let me just say, Les is one hell of an opponent, so this is a tough matchup to start off with. I was playing Wakanda, and Les was playing Midnight Suns. We were on Hammers and Deadly Meteor Virus. Oh, not Deadly, Deadly Meteors. And we were on threat value of 17. He had priority, so he chose his secures, because I do not particularly care for Deadly Meteors. It is a pay-to-flip, and I don't have a huge game into pay-to-flips. Looking back on it, I probably should have played Asgard, but I didn't think of that at the time. So, what I played at 17 was 4-threat Black Panther, Killmonger, M'Baku, Shuri, and Okoye. What Les was playing was Elsa Bloodstone. Was he playing? I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of exactly what he brought, and I can't remember exactly. I know he had Nkantu because he is just a nightmare to take off the table. And he had a couple other Midnight Suns. This was my first matchup, so I don't remember everything about it. But let me just say this. I think I played pretty well, but Les is the kind of opponent that if you make any mistake, he will take advantage of it, and he will make you pay for it. And I, at one point, he had 5-threat MODOK. That's the thing that was, like, throwing me for a loop. He had 5-threat MODOK on the table. My Killmonger, I was very nervous about him just picking up my Killmonger on the first round. So I was very cagey with Killmonger. I kept him way back. But what that meant is in round 2, Elsa Bloodstone shot Killmonger twice and gave him slow and root and did no damage. And what that means is that my Killmonger was stuck in my backfield, slowed and rooted, and without enough power to charge because he only had 2 power on him. This was a disaster for my game. I really needed his hitting power on my front line in order to help me deal with MODOK and with everyone else that he had. And it was enough of a setback that I think this was the determining factor. I do end up usurping the throne on MODOK, because the moment that Killmonger gets in there, he's gonna kill, especially MODOK. Like, MODOK has, I think he has 3 energy defense, so it's not terrible, but it's not good. And 10 damage, Killmonger can do that in his sleep.
But he blanks out your wilds, Fred.
You're right, and I got lucky that I rolled a grand total of 1 wild in all my attacks against him. So I did good in my attack against MODOK. Otherwise, other than usurping the throne, I pretty much lose this fight on the ground. He pulls out a win at 17 to my 13, and it's starting off strong for me. I'm starting off in the losers bracket, although I was pretty sure I would be, being up against Les. He is a very strong opponent. All right, let's move on to Brad. Brad, what was your first round like?
I played against Bryce, and this meant that I had to be on my A game right away, just like Fred did against Les. And I think he won well, maybe not. I don't remember who won this year. We ended up playing Spider Infected and Intrusions, which I like Intrusions. We played 19 points. Oh, wait, it shows me who has priority. I had priority. Bryce was playing a Spider Foes Asgard list, and I was fairly sure he was going to play Asgard against me. that was even more clear once I, saw that he had Thor 1, um, which is a pretty good counter to a lot of what Apocalypse wants to do. At 19, he played Thor 1 as his leader, Mighty Thor, Bill, Lizard. I don't know how many points I'm at, so.
That
17.
is, yeah.
That's 17. So he played a 2-pointer? Oh, he played Toad. That was his last model. I'm pretty sure. I played Apocalypse. I'm pretty sure this is my list. I know I played Gambit. I know I played Blob. Pretty sure I played Colossus for the displacements. And then my last model, I think, was Beast, also for the displacements. The first couple rounds, Bryce just did not even try to take any of the secures and concentrate on the extracts. And the first turn, he double moves Bill to take one of the spider infected on my side of the board. And then Bill's already over there to start making attacks second turn. But he doesn't really try to get on the secures. So I get all 3 secures turn 1 and turn 2. Then I keep one of the things that really helped in this game is Lizard kept getting moved by the spider infected, and then he'd get back on the Bryce would have to move to get back on the point, and then I'd just push him back off with Colossus. So that helped out a lot. I think what sealed the game was Bill was all over the board this game, going crazy everywhere, and Apocalypse finally dazed him. And then the next round, I had Gambit was I think at 1 health. And I was like, well, he's got to do something before I lose him. And and Bill was right there. I was like, I'll just finish Bill off and take him off the table, and then that's one less activation that Bryce gets. So Gambit does that and takes off Bill before he gets to activate. So, and then Gambit eventually gets dazed or dies or whatever that round. But there wasn't really any reason to attack Gambit most of the game because he was never on a secure and he never had an extract. So he mostly got to run around, do whatever he wanted, which was pretty cool. There were the teleporting portals were both kind and unkind to me and Bryce. I had this really cool play in mind where I was going to teleport Blob, push Toad off a point, teleport Blob, push Mighty Thor off the point, and then teleport back to the point where he originally was. And I got the Toad off, and then I failed the roll, and Bryce put him back.
At his starting point.
At his starting point, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done then. But it was a really cool play. There was something like that with Bryce too. He tried to teleport. He failed it. I put him on the point he didn't want, and then he failed again, and I put him back where he started. Another great play on my part, and it was just Bryce not thinking about it. Bryce attacked someone, dazed them, teleported over to where Blob was, attacked Blob, and I pushed him off the point. And that was his second action, I think. So, or maybe he teleported over, attacked, and then had to move back on the point, and then Blob attacked her and pushed her off later. It's something like that. It was. I quite enjoyed it, but.
Blob is such an amazing annoyance piece.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's great for that kind of thing. I played a lot of displacement in this game, and that kept me. Even when Bryce started playing for the Secures, I kept control of them. He wouldn't put anyone near Apocalypse, but that's understandable. Good thing Apocalypse can also go through the teleporter. I ended up winning this game 18-15. So it was a very close, good game. But
All right,
all my
nice.
movement, you got me there.
Okay, well, congratulations, Brad. I'm sorry I was cutting you off there. I didn't mean to. Steven, uh,
Yes.
your first round. Why don't you tell us about who you were up against?
I was up against Josh, or otherwise known as Jay Heat from the Akron crew, and he was playing a Brotherhood Magneto. Uh, we were running Alien Ship and Macran Crystal. I had priority, and we were at 19 threat. So he went with Juggernaut, Magneto, Gambit, Avalanche, and Toad. I was surprised to see Avalanche, but I realized, oh yeah, they just did come out. So he had them ready to go.
They were painted. He had
I,
Exodus on his team too.
yeah. And I countered with Abomination, um, Baron Strucker, of course, Bucky, Spider Woman, and Baron Zemo. You as that's 3 threat Baron Zemo. I usually did not run Baron Zemo because I thought, oh, I got Baron Strucker. He gives the reroll bubble anyway, right? But I found out having 2 separate reroll bubbles is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And it allows Bucky to move around a little bit better instead of being attached to Baron Strucker all the time. So, needless to say, I basically sacrificed Spider Woman to Magneto, is what happened in this game. Also, Juggernaut and Abomination were tossing each other about. That was kind of funny. And then the monster of the game was Bucky because he saw a toad, shot him once, and he died. So, and he lost his extract, and Zemo went and picked it up. So, needless to say, this is a very close back and forth game. Not many points on the board. So, in the end, I got his Gambit, I got his Avalanche, I got his Toad. Juggernaut and Magneto were the only ones left. And I still had everybody but Spider Woman, so just the weight of numbers kind of took this game for me. And we ended up, I had 18 and he had 17. And you'll see a theme coming up here pretty soon concerning my game.
Yes, there will be a theme for you this tournament. Hey, congratulations on your win in round 1.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't expect Baron Strucker to win. I wasn't running my Spider Foes just because I know I can't attend like a lot of the Appalachian Cup stuff. So I just didn't want to run something that would, um, give me a chance to get points and then not attend the tournament that comes at the end. So
Right.
so I brought out my B team. So
All right. Well, let's move on to round 2. My second round opponent was Johnny Blasto. I've played against him in the past, and he's I believe he's from the Akron area as well. He was playing Midnight Suns, so this is my second game against Midnight Suns, and I'm playing. I'm still playing Wakanda. Johnny Blasto wins priority, and so he picks his. He picks his extra. No, I'm sorry. He picks his secure, and he picks Deadline to Destruction. That's the one that if you interact with the secure, you can force an opponent to either who is holding an extract to either take a damage or drop the extract. I hate this secure. This secure is so bad for me. We end up playing at 16 threat, and what that means is he drops Blade, Red Skull 2, and Immortal Hulk. I am playing 4 wide. I'm playing 4 threat Black Panther. I play M'Baku, I play Killmonger, and I play Lady Sif for 4 solid 4 threat models. This game was a heartbreaker for me. So I go out and I have 2 models going after Red Skull 2. My 2 models going after Red Skull 2 are Lady Sif and Killmonger. My plan for this is to get Killmonger enough power so that he can then shuffle off to try and do 15 damage to Immortal Hulk and usurp the throne. Well, in round 2, Red Skull, I should clarify, it's Red Skull's grunts go nuts with their dice. I think he rolls like 7 damage at one point with a 4 dice attack. This is a theme for this game. Every attack out of these grunts it does more than 4 damage. Every single one. Red Skull and his activation with the grunts daze both Lady Sif and Killmonger in round 2. That is nuts. I am able to deliver Black Panther onto Red Skull and daze him, but I'm well on the back foot. And M'Baku's over on the other side, and M'Baku just sort of beats up Blade and dazes him. Things go well for me against Blade in this matchup, but that's the only place where things go well. And Immortal Hulk beats up Black Panther a little bit, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And that's the round 2. Round 3 starts, and he activates Red Skull again. And Red Skull, at the very top of round 3, and Red Skull KOs both Killmonger and Lady Sif due to the grunts blowing up their dice. This is nuts. If either one of them had survived, I think that I win this game. But that set me on I was so far behind then at that point that that's basically it. Immortal Hulk and Red Skull proceed to beat in my face for the next round, and he wins this game 22-16. This one was frustrating. Red Skull's grunts did more damage in this game than Immortal Hulk did, and that's saying something. All right, Brad, what is your round 2 like?
All right, round 2, I play against Chance, who won the last event, the one in Pittsburgh, and he's still playing. Oh wow, I was gonna say Wakanda, but really he's playing King T'Challa.
Yeah.
We get Legacy Virus and Mcron Crystal. He picks 19, and he actually plays the exact same models he played against me at that last qualifier. So he has King T'Challa, M'Baku, Mighty Thor, Okoye, and Luke Cage. I think that's his whole list. I, however, have changed my list, as I mentioned before. So I played Apocalypse. I played Psylocke, which I did play against him last time. Gambit, who wasn't even in my list before. Blob. And another model. Was it Beast? It was Beast. It was Beast. So, I think we end up tying the first 2 rounds, something like that. Uh, I like playing Imkron Crystal, especially with Apocalypse. Um, it was really funny because I played Gambit, and Gambit can hit for a lot. He didn't make a single attack at least for the first 3 rounds, and maybe not the entire game. Uh, he had to have made an attack at the end, but it wasn't very relevant. Uh, Mighty Thor kills Psylocke again. That happened last time too. She's a really good piece into Psylocke because as long as you don't make the mistake of getting within 2 of Psylocke uh, on the charge, she kills her pretty easily. Psylocke did Daze M'Baku and flip a point. She was like really far away from the action. I teleported, I short moved, I one-shotted M'Baku and then moved on to the point and flipped it. And that was a really good turn for her. And then she got dazed and then KO'd right after that. But it was cool. Did a lot of displacing models again, although I didn't have Colossus, so not as much. And the real big thing, like I was ahead on points at the end of the third turn. It was 9-7. And in that last turn of the game, no, we played 2 more turns. Anyway, the next turn, when he took out Psylocke, I was like, oh, okay, now's a great chance to take out King T, maybe. And the problem was he had Luke Cage next to him and next to Apocalypse. So it was going to be hard. So I attack King T'Challa, and he's like, and I don't declare war or anything because I wasn't planning on using war at all. Because I was planning on teleporting Apocalypse to flip another point. But Chance didn't know that. He assumed that it was going to come eventually. He said, I'll take the first one on King T'Challa. He rolls 1 block, and I roll 5 hits after my crit. And then I use 3 Apocalypse tokens to reroll 3 of the misses and confirm all 3, which is just enough damage to KO King T'Challa because I had already dazed him the turn before he got to activate or anything. And then my second hit dazed Luke Cage, and I flipped the point he was on, and I flipped the other point with Apocalypse. And that's really what sealed the game. Like, I didn't immediately win off of that, but he didn't have enough to recover from then on.
Yeah.
I think I won all 4 secures that turn and all 4 secures the next turn to end up winning 18-10. Against Chance. So, Chance is tough to beat. If I didn't one-shot King T'Challa there, he said he was going to ignore Apocalypse and use King T'Challa to try to take out a couple other models to try to snowball from there, but it just didn't happen because of a little bit of luck.
You had a dice roll break in your favor at a crucial moment.
I sure did.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Well done, Brad. Good job winning your second round. Steven, what was your second round like?
My second round was going against Brandon Akers, the better Brandon. He's from the Princeton, West Virginia area. We beat before. He was running a Mighty Steve Avengers with
Gambit and Doc Ock, so I knew what tech he was running. He also ran Shang-Chi, Iron Man, and Luke Cage. So he was running some top tier models. And I thought I was in trouble, and I wasn't as much trouble as I thought. I countered with Abomination, Wrecking Crew, Hood, Baron Zemo, and Baron Strucker. And we were on Dusty Formula and Mutant Madman, so we were at 18 threat. He had priority. Gambit and Doc Ock are kind of stupid with Steve, to be honest. They were throwing out a lot of damage. I lost my Zemo top of 2. So that left Abomination on one side taking on Shang-Chi, Doc Ock, and Captain America by himself. And he actually did himself pretty well in going after people. Wrecking Crew surprisingly did a lot of work. Oh my gosh, these guys are fun actually to play. And then because they got into Luke Cage, took him out, got into Tony, took him out. I mean, they were just doing a lot. Hood and Strucker really didn't do much. They were on the other flank, and I was basically using Wrecking Crew as my my model to go in between, from one side to the other, because with that medium move on that large base, with their superpower, they actually do and get pretty far. So, needless to say, like I said, it was a little bit too much, and I lost a character. So, at the top of round 2, so I was already down a character and trying to claw back. In the end, he did take it, and we ended up with his points at 17 and mine at 16. Shang-Chi is stupid. Under Steve, 3.
Yeah.
Doc Ock and Gambit are stupid. So I felt pretty good coming out like that against one of the lists that would be considered, in the top tier with my little janky B list. So, but he played a good game, and it was really, really close. And we shook hands at the end, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you took this list to the limit. That's for sure." So,
well, good job taking his list to the limit. His list is crazy. It's like maximizing all of the triggers that you can, both triggers and 2 characters that count wilds as doubles. And so it's really incredibly damaging.
And there were
with a character that you can.
There were 2 people in this tournament playing almost identical lists.
Yeah.
Because JP, his friend who he plays all the time, also was playing the same list.
Yeah. I mean, it's an effective strategy. This is one of those really high performing lists, and they're both putting it to good use. All right. Well, let's move on to round 3. So I'm 0-2 at this point. So things are not going well for Fred. I get paired against Cody. He's one of the gentlemen from the Cleveland area, and we've played in the past, and he's a good opponent. And he drops Steve Rogers Avengers, like Steve 1 Avengers, to my Wakanda. I play my the same 17 that I played in round 1. 4 threat Black Panther, M'Baku, Killmonger, Shuri, and Okoye. He drops Steve Rogers, Thor, Baron Mordo, and another 5 threat model that I cannot for the life of me think of right now.
was it Cable?
It was Cable. That is exactly who it was. Thank you. That was the.
Well, I know Cody and what he. I know Cody and what he runs. So being from that area.
Yep. it was Cable. So round one, we barely really hurt each other. He shoots Okoye with Cable at I think he shoots her twice, and she doesn't daze, which is a sign of how the dice are playing this round. And other than that, we basically just both score 4 victory points and line up for round 2. At the beginning of round 2, he goes in with Thor, and he dazes Okoye because Okoye takes the hit for someone, and then he throws an attack into Killmonger and doesn't really do much damage. I think he does like 2 or 3 damage, just enough to really turn Killmonger on. And then I immediately usurp the throne, like in round 2. So I daze Thor, and I get set up for dealing with him in round 3 as well. But so things on that side of the field are going well for me. On the other side of the field, he has Baron Mordo versus my Shuri and my Black Panther. And Baron Mordo basically dazes Black Panther by himself with 2 Mystic builders. So, I mean, that side's not going near as well for me as the main conflict point. But round 3 happens, and Thor runs to the other side of the table, and I push hard on Cable. I think I'm able to daze Cable this round, and I daze Captain America this round. Like, things go real well for me again on the side with M'Baku, Okoye, and Killmonger. And Black Panther plays keep away while Shuri is trying to keep Baron Mordo from chasing him around too much. But Baron Mordo has an ability where if I push him, he can spend, I think it's just 1 power under Steve Rogers to move short after being pushed. So we were basically just pushing him, and he's moving right back to where he was. And I was surprised at how much of a bully Baron Mordo was to Black Panther. It shows the weakness to Mystic that my list has, that Black Panther can be so thoroughly housed by Baron Mordo. But the dice really turned in my favor around this point. I'm getting huge hits on Cable and Thor and Steve Rogers, and I end up getting very far ahead on objective points this round. And we do go to a 4th round, but it's I was too far ahead on the objective points from round 3. And I win this game 20-12. I think very much that the dice luck from the last game, from the game before, reconciled some in my favor, but that's to Cody's downfall, because this was he very much could have won this had his dice been a little bit better, but mine were absolutely fire. Okay, that's my round 3. Brad, why don't you talk about what happened in your 3rd round?
Before I talk about my game, the undefeated players so far are me, Borka, also from Charleston, and JP and Brandon playing the same list, both from Princeton. So West Virginia is going to win this tournament. Yay.
Yay!
And I said before I randomly paired that I knew what was going to happen, and it was going to be me and Borka playing each other, and that's what happened. And then JP and Brandon playing each other, because of course. JP and Brandon played the exact same list against each other in the game, which is funny. But Bork and I played. He's been playing Web Warriors, and I definitely haven't beat him at a tournament, and I may not have won this matchup ever yet. Fred playing Web Warriors, easy.
Hey.
Borka played Web Warriors. I can't beat him.
I mean, you're also correct. Like, Borka's a much stronger player than me.
We get hammers and cosmic invasion because he gets priority, and I am not looking forward to cosmic invasion. That sounds terrible. I pick 18 threat. He played Scarlet Spider, Miles, Spider Gwen, Amazing Spider-Man, Black Cat. Is that a full list? Oh, and Spider-Woman. I played Apocalypse, Psylocke. She's a good one against webs. Magic. She's great. Blob and Toad. On my right flank is Apocalypse and Psylocke are both over there against Spider-Gwen and Spider-Woman. He has Miles on his home D, and I have Toad on mine. And then on the other side, it's Blob and Magic versus first Black Cat, but then later Amazing, as Black Cat goes back to my home D, but then Blob goes over there. And Magic versus Amazing. Magic wins that fight at a critical point. I'm ahead the whole time. But just like a point ahead for the first 2 rounds. And then at that point I'm at 9 and he's at 7. In the 3rd round, he decides that he's going to try to take out Apocalypse and can't quite do that, including taking Miles off that back point to try to help take Apocalypse down. If he does, that's really good for him, but he just can't quite get there. And this is the turn he all webs up, and he just can't take out Apocalypse. Magic takes out Amazing Spider-Man, as I said, this turn. And Blob throws some terrain into Black Cat to daze her and is on the point. And so I'm winning 3 of the secures. I have a couple hammers. And I've got like 2 models left to go at the end. And one of them doesn't do anything. It must have been Psylocke. And then Toad double moves and hops onto his D that he doesn't have anyone on anymore, scoring me 7 points. And I was at 9. So I get to exactly 16. Borka earns 1 point, and I win the game. So like we were very close, and then I had one good turn that got me just enough points to win the game, and ended on turn 3.
I spoke to Borka today, and he said that even in the best of circumstances, if it comes down to Web Warriors having to take out Apocalypse, he's in a bad scenario.
Yeah. He said that right after our game, because I was like, "You're really trying to take out Apocalypse," and he's like, "Yeah, out of desperation. Like, if that's what I have to do, I'm not in a good spot." And I was just thinking, great. This worked out well for me this time, because it's gone so bad every other time I've played him. You know what the big difference was?
What was the big difference?
And he may or may not listen to this episode. He probably will, because he'll be listening to what I said about our game. He didn't play Scarlet Spider.
He didn't play. Okay.
He has beat me
That's
every time he played Scarlet Spider, and he didn't win this game, and he didn't play Scarlet Spider.
I mean, Scarlet Spider answers a lot of the questions that Apocalypse poses. Like, he can move
Apparently.
Apocalypse.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well done, Brad. Congratulations on your win. Steven, what was your round 3 pairing like?
Oh, my round 3 was against Gilbert Weiss. He is from the Cleveland area, friend of Cody's, friend of mine. And he was running a original Red Skull. So we were playing Montesi Formula and McCrane Crystal at 19 threats. I was running Baron Strucker. He ran Red Skull. His tech is Nightcrawler because he likes to use Nightcrawler to kill things.
Is it the impossible, unending Nightcrawler attack from Red Skull 1?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That is the same one. He was running. So those 3. Who else? He was running Bullseye. So that gets to 14. Must have been Ultron 2 with the grunts. That is correct. Because there's a funny thing about that. Anyway, I went with Baron Strucker. I ran the Winter Soldier Operative, and then all my other 3 threats, which happened to be Baron Zemo, Arnim Zola, Iceman, and Hood. So, needless to say, I felt very behind the 8 ball in this game. And for some miracle that happened, if you have either of you two watched the What If series where Ultron gets the Infinity Stones?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe?
I have.
I have not.
You know the part where Hawkeye and Black Widow upload Arnim Zola to take over Ultron?
Mm-hmm.
In the future? Arnim Zola took out Ultron in our game. That was the turning point right there. And he scored me 2 victory points on top of that. So
that is impressive for Arnim Zola.
Arnim Zola, when he gets power, man, he can do stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah. So when you do an 8 dice spender and you have a stack of power to do rerolls with, usually you take something down. So Bucky did Bucky things with Strucker there. Zemo was chasing Bullseye around most of the time. Who just did some pot shots. I mean, nobody did anything spectacular except Arnim Zola, and it was spectacular. So who would have thought, right? But the game ends up 17-16, and I like running Iceman Instructor because if you move into him, he'll give you a slow condition, and if he has damage, he'll heal. That's the check on that. Plus, if you do any attacks into him, you start taking damage. So if you have the slow condition on you, so I tend to use him as a thwart to things coming into me. So I usually run him around Strucker, and also you can get power enough to help Strucker move with his semi-airlift. So, but needless to say, 17-16. If you're seeing the pattern, so
when you win by 1 point.
When I lose, I lost by 1 point.
Still. Yeah, he lost by 1 point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're always 1 point difference.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well,
anyway, it was a great game. You know, obviously we were seeing who was the better villain. So I just came out on top this time.
Well done. All right. Well, let's move on to the final round of this tournament. So I'm 1-3, 1-2 at this point, and I am surprised when I am matched up against Chance. Uh, Chance is one hell of a player, and he's playing Wakanda. So we start a mirror match. My Wakanda list, however, is very different than his. I do not even have King T'Challa in my roster. I've never been able to make him work. Like, he seems too fragile to me. But Chance knows how to bounce him in and out and make him a villain that I can't quite lock down. And that's the trick, I guess, is keeping him alive. Okay, so let's talk about how this game plays out. We are playing on Inhumans Deploy Weaponry as the extract and Superpowered Scoundrels as the secure. And Chance chooses 20 threat for this matchup. I do not like that. That 20 threat is really hot, and that's quite a lot of models on the field for me, and I am already nervous with his King T floating around. He's playing King T'Challa and Red Skull, the 5-threat Red Skull. I have a little bit of PTSD from my second round seeing him again. He also is playing M'Baku and Killmonger, and a 2-threat model that I think it's Toad. I'm pretty sure it's Toad. I am playing. No, it would be Okoye. Why would it be Toad?
Yeah, that's
No,
what
it's
I was
definitely
gonna say.
It had to have been Okoye. I was playing Shang-Chi, Black Panther, M'Baku. I should specify 4-threat Black Panther, M'Baku, Killmonger, and so that's 4, and that leaves me 4 threat on the table. So that last 4 threat is Lady Sif. So I'm playing 5 4-threat models. This game starts off with me really getting my butt handed to me by King T'Challa. Like, he can be everywhere. It's like he rolls in, he stabs somebody, and then he moves away because he's got the bound, so he can move up, stab someone, rolling 8 dice and re-rolling 2. I don't. There were so many ways that he could affect his dice, and then bounding back away. Like, it was very impressive. It's like a dance with King T'Challa. I am having trouble keeping up. I do end up usurping the throne against his Red Skull. His Red Skull was much less effective in this game than my other opponents. Like, he did fine, but it wasn't the absolute blowout that that Johnny Blasto's Red Skull did. We're fighting essentially on 2 fronts. There's a left-hand side of the battle and a right-hand side of the battle, and he is winning on both sides. That's the frustrating part about how this game played out. And I just can't get my stuff together enough to mount an effective defense. Lady Sif does okay. Like, Lady Sif is a very strong model, and she holds her own on my right flank, but other than her, I pretty much get wiped out. Even Shang-Chi gets taken out pretty easily by the way that he was playing. I think that of my games that I played today, this was the most thoroughly I get trounced. But I did score okay. This game ended 16-11. So it wasn't a blowout, but it felt like a blowout from my perspective. That is how I end this tournament. I end at 1-3. I'm going to throw next to Steven because Brad's table is the final table, and we'll let him tell us how the last table plays out. But Steven, how was your 4th round? How did it play out?
Well, I ended up playing Borka. I've played him before. We've had some tussles, so so to speak. He was playing his Web Warriors, of course, and he brought. Um, well, we were playing Terrigen Canisters and Mutant Madman. He brought Spider Woman, um, Scarlet Spider, Miles, Spectacular, and Black Cat. And I brought um, the Wrecking Crew, Baron Strucker, Red Skull Master of the World, Arnim Zola, and Hood. And needless to say, we I had priority, and I had Hood go up and get the center extract on Terrigen canisters, and then we did a little back and forth. Wrecking Crew picked up theirs and flipped a point because they get 2 power a turn. So I like Hood going to the center because whoever comes at him, you will usually damage him, and then that allows you to bump back. If you once you take damage, you can transform, so it gets you further out of trouble, and it also gives you DR too. So I like that play. Needless to say, his the game was back and forth, and then I got a lead. It was 15-12, and then things fell apart for me. And then he scored 6 points, and I scored 3, and we were tied at 18. And then the last round came up, and I lost by 1 point, 23-22. Highlights of this game, but this game is still a little controversial. So, needless to say, the Wrecking Crew held up. They took out Black Cat, and they held up Black Cat, Spectacular, and Spider Woman. I was kind of amazed at that. They were doing their due diligence and their duty. But I messaged Borka about the controversy. So who knows what the outcome would have been, but we were all tired and we missed something in the play. So that was on me, basically not catching it. And,
I was
just like, yeah, well.
I was watching during this moment, and I didn't catch that this was a mistake. But thinking back, he ended up doing a place that he couldn't do with Scarlet Spire, and then he double moved. But his second move was like almost nothing to get to the edge of the table, and he has Wall Crawler. He could have just double moved and basically been in the same spot.
Right, but
Yeah.
I think I could have had at least 2 characters that had shots on them. So
Maybe
climbing up on the building, because one of them was range 4. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. I mean, mistakes happen. That the tournament's long, and things happen. So
And
I
we were on round
thing.
4.
I mean, I did. Yeah.
Most of the other spiders,
a couple of times.
most of the other spiders do have a web swing. It's just Scarlet Spider doesn't. It's an understandable mistake.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it was a wonderful game, and I got nipped by 1 point again.
Yep.
So if you're keeping track, my MOV is 0. Margin of victory is 0.
Oh wow.
That's much better than a -31.
Is that what mine was?
It is.
No.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
it's like,
well,
I'm worried.
yeah. I mean, hey, I lost 3 games. I could have had a -31. That's possible. All right. Well, Brad, you were playing on the final table.
Yeah, and I was going to be playing against Steve Rogers' Avengers, first Avenger Steve Rogers. It's just who was piloting them, and it ends up being it just ends up being JP won that game. We get Montesi Formula, which was mine, and Mutant Madman, which was his because he got priority. And we played 18 Threat. I played Apocalypse, of course. Blob, Wolverine, Gambit, and what did I say? 18. Oh, that had to have been Toad, right? He played First Avenger, 4-Point Dark Ock, Gambit, Iron Man, Shang-Chi. His list was easier to remember than mine. The only person he put on my left side was Doc Ock, and both Gambit and Wolverine were over there. Down the middle is Gambit and First Avenger, and I had Toad. That was it, just Toad. And because there were no secures in the middle, they were on the sides. And on my right flank, he had Iron Man and Shang-Chi, and I had that's where Apocalypse ended up going, and then Blob was over there. Blob versus Iron Man's a weird one because I don't have good defenses against him, but he can't push me off the point. So he's got to actually roll dice and daze me, which does eventually happen. There's a lot of Gambit on Gambit violence in this game. My Gambit came off the point to the middle of the table to attack his Gambit. His Gambit attacked my Gambit. Toad ends up getting dazed by Gambit early on and loses the middle extract because I had gone up and got it, I think. No, what had happened was Steve went up and got it. Apocalypse ended up dazing him on my way over to the right flank, and then Toad stole it and ran away and sat like in between my cards on my side of the table for most of the game. I played Wolverine just to show. Brandon and JP keep saying that they don't want to put Wolverine in their First Avenger list. And I think that's ridiculous because he also double counts wilds on a charge. So I was bound and determined to show JP that he was worth a spot. So Wolverine charged Doc Ock, and it took 2 attacks, but 1 activation to daze Doc Ock. And then the next turn, I got him in 1 hit to kill him. So take that, Doc Ock. On the other side, he was putting everything he can into Apocalypse and manages to daze him, and I had to use both of my recalibration matrices along the way. But that made sure that Apocalypse lasted long enough that it was Iron Man's second attack that finally dazed him, and I dropped the whatever it was, the Montesi formula, and he didn't have anyone to go pick it up. I didn't get the point, but neither did he. Then the next turn, he's got first activation, and he says, "You don't have any more recalibration matrices, right?" And I said, "Nope." And he's like, "And you don't have a bodyguard?" I said, "Nope." He's like, "I'm gonna Helios laser," and I was like, "Blob, okay." And he said, "No, Apocalypse," and I was very disappointed. So he ends up rolling, I believe it was 18 dice. He rolls 6 with 1 crit in there. The crit comes up a skull. He pays to change one of his dice into wild. I don't think he had a wild before that either, because I think he did it mostly for the trigger. I rolled, so he has 7. I rolled 1 or 2, I don't remember. There was a controversy over this. I think I rolled 2 blocks. Whatever. I end up with like some damage on me, plus 1 extra damage from the trigger. And then he makes a second attack. I thought I ended up taking 1 from this, but he said at dinner afterwards that like I ended up with 1 more damage on me from this, but he said he's pretty sure he got 1 damage through that I immediately healed. But at the end of his activation, I was at 6 damage out of 8 health on Apocalypse. So Apocalypse survives the Helios laser turn.
Wow.
First thing
that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like unfortunate
yeah.
dice.
I was several points ahead at this point, like for VPs. But this would have put him in a really good place to turn the game around from there and end up winning. And like, it doesn't guarantee he wins, but it makes it really hard for me to win from there if Apocalypse goes down. But he doesn't. I immediately spend 5 power on Blob to heal Apocalypse with Patch Up. So now he's at 1 damage.
Yep.
And I go with someone else. That might have been when I KO'd Doc Ock, or it might have been my Gambit killing his Gambit, something like that. And then he goes with Shang-Chi. He hits Blob and ends up staggering him. And then he hits Apocalypse. Either does no damage or does 1 damage, which I heal from, and triggers the stagger, which I used to heal that last point of damage off of Apocalypse because he's immune.
Oh.
And Apocalypse is now at full health. Good times.
God, I hate Apocalypse.
Good times.
God, he's so awful.
He at this point, like I think, I don't remember if I win that turn or the next turn, but I'm in a great position to win. I push Iron Man out in the middle of nowhere between attacks and him attacking Blob. There's a point at the very end of the game where I think he just has Captain America left, and he's looking at the field, and he's like, Captain America can do nothing except go try to flip this one unguarded point. Rolls over there and fails the flip.
Of course.
Yeah, I had both Wolverine and Toad could have went over and tried flipping it back, but it just doesn't matter. And I end up winning 19-7, which sounds awful, but once again, if he pulls off that Helios laser, he's got a pretty good chance of winning this game. It just didn't happen for him, and so. And
Today was your day.
It was my day. Bryce pointed out on the Discord that anytime we play first round and I win the tournament. So I just have to play Bryce first round to beat him every tournament, and then I'm golden.
You found the secret.
Yeah.
So we maintain our streak of having the tournament winner speak on the podcast because we
sure
have Brad,
do.
the tournament winner.
We sure do. And I'm going to try to invite the winner every time to be on the podcast. But sometimes I may forget. 'Cause
Right.
after a long day of playing games, sometimes your brain doesn't function.
That is a true statement. Okay, well, thank you guys. That's how our tournament went. It was a ton of fun. I enjoyed it, and I hope that more people come out to our Appalachian Cup events. They are worth attending. We had a few new people. Memphis, one of our newer players, attended, and he had a great time. I'm just happy whenever we see someone new coming to our tournaments. All right, let's move right along. So we spent a lot of time talking there. Let's go straight into the person that we are here to cover today. That person being Angela, otherwise known as Aldrich Odin's daughter. Her defensive stats are 4s across the board. She has 6 stamina on her front side and 7 on her back. She is a threat value of 5, size of 2, and a long mover. She is also relevantly on a medium base, and she is affiliated with the Asgardian and Guardians of the Galaxy affiliations as well. Oh, she's got a bunch. It's A-Force, Asgard, Guardian, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are her affiliations. Hey, Brad, why don't you do her 3 attacks?
Okay, her first attack is physical. It's called Xiphos, the Sword of the Stars. It's range 2, 6 dice, cost 0. Gain power equal for damage dealt, and after the attack is resolved, place this character within 2 of the target. Our second attack is Energy, Blades of Ichor. Range 4, 5 dice, it costs 1. And has hit trigger Pursuit. And her final attack is Physical, Heaven's Wrath. Range 3, 4 dice, but you get to add dice equal to the target's size, and it costs 3. And it has crit, wild, cleave. After the attack is resolved, you can make an additional Heaven's Wrath without making paying the power cost. The attack must target the original target character. This additional attack does not have the cleave special rule.
Okay, Steven. Oh, there's a lot left here. Do you feel like you can finish out the card?
Yes, sir, I do.
Alrighty.
We have an active superpower called Odin Daughter's Might. It is a 2 power cost. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less and within 2 and throw it medium. The superpower can be used only once per turn. We have a reactive power, Angelic Assassin. If this character dazes or KOs an enemy character with an attack during its activation, after that attack is resolved, if this character may use the superpower. This character immediately advances short, then makes a Xiphos, the Sword of the Stars attack. The superpower can be used only once per turn. Innately, she is an Asgardian. During the power phase, this character gains 1 additional power. Innately, she has living ribbons. While an enemy character is advancing or climbing, it cannot place the movement tool overlapping this character's base. Enemy characters cannot reroll or modify attack dice when targeting this character with attacks. And innately, she also has flight.
Hey, there's quite a bit on this card. She is very interesting. She has a ton of movement shenanigans, and she has that rule. It's the Living Ribbons rule, where enemy models cannot overlap her base with the movement widget. That's a weird one. Like, have you guys ever played with or against her where that has come up?
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. Okay. Brad, why don't you go tell me about it?
I remember at least one game where I could not get on the secure because of where my opponent had placed her and the fact that I couldn't overlap her base. I just couldn't get there. So I didn't. Worth noting,
Okay.
Medusa has the same rule, but it's not as relevant because she has a much smaller base.
Yes, she's a small base compared to Angela's medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in my head, I have not played against Angela much. I've seen her on the table, but she has not like she's not someone I see frequently. And the times that I've seen her on the table, I never even it never even came up that she prevents people from walking over her base. Uh, so in my head, I can see how that can be enormous. Like you can use it as area denial, but also I can't trust what my head says sometimes. Sometimes my head makes a superpower seem more effective than it actually is. So I'm glad to hear that that it is effective. Uh, all right, Steven, why don't you talk about Angela? Why don't you tell me what your thoughts are here about her card?
I think she's a very good tech piece nowadays because it seems a lot of people are going into rerolls a lot. Um, I mean, Namor hates to see her, that's for sure. So,
she can chase him down.
She does, yeah, she chases him down, and she, I mean, everything on her kit is great, except for that Heaven's Wrath. I mean, you just don't. It's not worth it to spend unless you got something big, 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 big. You know. So, but I'm thinking about putting her in my Hydra list and giving her Sleeper Agent so that she can go throw things at people for 2 power, and they can't brace.
Right.
So
yeah, she can toss the size 4 terrain piece into someone's face without the ability to brace it.
yeah, and then you see how much damage you've done, and then if you would like, you just go into Zypho's Sword of the Stars. After that, she just moves like really really far and can get to places really really fast. So I mean, that alone is worth it, right? So.
Yeah, she is an exceptionally mobile model. So, Zyphos, the Sword of the Stars, how many models have an attack where they place themselves within range 2 of the target? It's usually within range 1. That is an interesting little addition onto that place, that normal place. And it opens it up quite a bit, I would imagine.
No, I would say that you are correct on that because I mean that could be the difference of getting a point or not getting a point, right?
Yeah. And think about a large base, and she likes attacking large base models. Think about like she makes an attack from one side, places herself within range 2 of the other side. That's across the table. That's a pretty big leap in movement. Just from with no necessary movement shenanigans, no triggers, no nothing. She just has to be within 2 of her target.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. That's really cool. All right, Brad, what do you think about this card? What do you think about Angela as a whole?
Well, as Steven said, she moves everywhere, and flight means that train's not going to slow her down. It's worth noting that she was recently errated, and the only thing they changed is that you can gain power before you Angelic Assassin. So if you didn't have enough power to pay for Angelic Assassin and you do the Zyphos, the Sword of Stars, and you gain enough power to do it, you can do it. And that didn't used to be how it worked. X23 got the same change. Big improvement. Size 4 throws are always good. I really wish her Blades of Ichor didn't cost a power. It's a good way. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. It's range 4, 5 dice, and it has a triggered pursuit trigger.
Yeah.
So like it feels like it's an underwhelming attack for costing 1 power on a
Right.
5-threat model.
Yes, exactly. And it is a good way to get her in range to do the stuff she wants to do. Because that pursuit trigger is fairly likely. So she's got good tech, but that shouldn't cost the power. It just shouldn't.
Do you think that if they made it so that the pursuit was automatic, it would feel better?
That would feel a lot better
Yeah.
for costing 1 power. A lot better.
Uh-huh.
It's just that makes her feel dated. Like,
Yeah. This
re-
is an older model. This model's been out for a while.
and Heaven's Wrath is not the greatest spender.
Yeah.
I mean, it is if you're attacking Dormammu
Or a Sentinel.
or Sentinel. Yeah. Even a size 4 model, it's pretty good.
Yeah, 8 dice for 3 cost is a pretty good spender, but
Well, only because
the trigger. Yeah, the trigger is tough to get. 2 crits, that's tricky. That's a steep cost, and it only can attack the person you're already attacking, who you just rolled 2 crits into on what might be an 8 dice attack. Like, they may have just been killed by it. They may not have been, in which case it will feel a lot better to have. But
Yes.
yeah.
I think she's fine.
There's another.
I don't think she's spectacular.
Yes. So there's another thing on this card that I want to point out, and that is that health amount on the front of her card. She is a 6 health Asgardian 5 threat with no defensive tech.
Yeah.
To speak. Aside from that, her opponents cannot re-roll dice into her, which is actually quite big. But I feel like she is frighteningly fragile. Like,
yeah.
she 6 health.
I
on the front.
remember, because I've been playing this game long enough, I remember when she came out, she was a terror. And now you never see her.
Yeah. Like, she can get 3 attacks in an activation using if she dazes someone, she can use her thing and move and stab someone else with her Xiphos blades. But like, she's got a lot of cool kit, a lot of cool stuff on her, but she's fragile.
Yeah.
And like, fragility is not an end all be all. I think she still definitely has a place in this game. I don't think that place is in Asgard. Because Asgard has access to so many really high quality 5 threat models that do what Asgard wants to do, and I'm not sure that she fits that bill. But she definitely has a place in A-Force. She's a magnificent drop-off person. Like, she can drop what's her face, She-Hulk, as far out as anyone can. She's also really strong in Guardians of the Galaxy, her other affiliation. I think that she brings a lot of stuff to Guardians of the Galaxy that they need. Like, she's got a place there. I was talking to Borka about her, actually, and Borka pointed out that, like, she can go in a Guardians list at 16 threat, 5 wide, easily. Like, and really be a terror on the table in that circumstance. So,
I really like her in Guardians, and we haven't even seen her there in a while, and I think that's a mistake. I think she's just really, really good there.
I agree. I think that her place is in Guardians. Okay. So we've discussed what she can do. Are there any tactics cards that feature Angela? I don't think that there are.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that she just benefits from the Asgardian or Guardians of the Galaxy cards, and otherwise that's it. I guess I've already said the biggest one, which is Drop Off with She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it's called. Is it called Drop Off? It's
No.
Airlift. It's air.
No.
What is it called?
Special delivery.
That's it.
Special delivery. That's it.
Drop off is that
Whatever
band
it's called.
card that Cable got banned.
Right. Yeah. So, that's the for those of you who don't know, I should say what it is. Special delivery. It is an A-Force specific card, and it is one that allows a character that has flight to pick up She-Hulk and place her on the table, like make a full move action and then place her within range 1 of herself, and then She-Hulk gets to make one punch attack after the special delivery is made, and it is a very powerful opening move for A-Force players. But otherwise, I don't think there's any card that really shines with Angela.
Yes, there is.
Let's.
Sleeper Agent.
Oh. Yeah, she can throw without them being able to brace. That's true. Okay. Let's give Angela here.
Anybody who has a low cost throw is always a sleeper agent.
Yes. Yeah. She would be a pretty solid sleeper agent. Let's give a letter grade to Angela. I think that for a model that is as threatening as this model is, she has way too little defensively. She has 4/4/4 defense, which is good, but she only has 6 health on her front and 7 on her back, which is better, but still not ideal. That leaves her at 13, which is on the low end for a 5-threat model. I think that she is good, not great. And I'm going to give her a B. I'm going to give her a totally playable, absolutely playable B grade. Brad, what would you like to give to Angela as a letter grade?
B-.
B-, okay. And Steven, what are you going to give to Angela? Steven, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm here. I'm just fading in and out because my internet's not great.
Okay.
I'm at a B-. I'm at a B-. She doesn't have very good. She doesn't have discard to speak of. I kind of am grading characters with that now, so she's kind of bland in that. But otherwise, I mean, you can put her on the table and she will be very, very useful. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that is our take on Angela. Brad, do you have any comic books that feature Angela, or what's her name? What's her something Odin's daughter, as the protagonist? Aldrich.
Fred.
Yes.
We're gonna play a little trivia game here, because I bet if I gave you 100 guesses, you would not guess the comic she first appears in. I don't need an issue number. I don't need the title of the book. You can just give me a team or the character that the book is about. I'll give you 3 guesses, and then we'll cut it off because you won't get it in 100. So, Fred, what's your first guess? What comic did she first appear
in? I'm gonna get. Is it She-Hulk?
Incorrect.
Okay, I'm gonna now throw out 2 more guesses that are completely off the wall because of how you've prefaced this, to see if I can just accidentally nail it.
Okay, I love this. I love that you're going for zany comics, given what I told you, because that's the only way you're gonna have a chance. Go ahead. Guess number
2. Guess number 2. The Star Trek comics that Marvel did a very long time ago, where they had a crossover with the X-Men.
That is also incorrect. Okay, one more guess, and before I tell you.
How about the Fantastic Four?
Also incorrect. Steven, you get one guess because you may actually know this.
Oh, it's actually Spawn.
It is Spawn, by
Spawn?
Image Comics,
Oh.
a completely different company. So her first appearance and the first recommendation I am making is Spawn number 9 by Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane. This is
Hey,
not
Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman created Angela. Fun, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So Todd McFarlane hired Neil Gaiman and a bunch of other writers to write issues of Spawn, and this was one Neil Gaiman wrote. And it's a flashback issue to medieval times where a literal angel named Angela fights a demon. After this, Angela shows up in other comics, other Spawn comics. She gets a couple mini-series. She's a big Spawn character. But
Okay.
Neil Gaiman has the rights to her because he created her at a company that was founded on creators owning their characters. Todd McFarlane wants the character because she's a Spawn character. So he offers to trade the rights to Miracle Man, which Neil Gaiman had been writing but did not have the rights to, for Angela, Medieval Spawn, and one other character that I don't remember. Well, Todd McFarlane backs out of that deal last minute. Neil Gaiman gets really mad about it, of course, because like they had this handshake deal that Todd McFarlane completely violated. So he sells Angela to Marvel Comics.
Huh.
Fun times, right? Okay.
So that handshake deal means that Angela is on the table in Marvel Crisis Protocol, or the lack of that handshake deal. I should say.
Well, the lack of him following through, because Neil Gaiman always had the rights in the courts, because Todd tries suing Neil Gaiman over the rights, and the courts say no, it's clearly his right, his characters. Todd also lost another case where Neil sued him because when Todd McFarlane lost the rights to Angela and Medieval Spawn, he created Dark Ages Spawn and 2 other Angel characters that were clearly just ripoffs of Angela, and lost that court case. And Neil Gaiman also got the rights to all those characters that he didn't even create, but they were derivatives of his characters. It's really funny.
Is Todd McFarlane just a jerk? Is
Yes.
He a chump?
Yeah.
Okay.
He does shit like this all the time. He's just kind of an asshole. Anyway, so her first Marvel appearance, she's in like a panel in one issue of Age of Ultron. You don't have to worry about that. She didn't have any speaking lines or anything. She really shows up first time in Marvel in Guardians of the Galaxy 5 through 10 in 2013. This is Brian Michael Bendis, Sara Pichelli, and Kevin Maguire. And she's the same character. She comes from, instead of being a literal angel from heaven, she is, she comes back from heaven.
Heaven.
Heven. And she is Thor's half sister. I think they share Odin as a father. I don't actually know that, but that's a pretty good guess. And
I think it has to be with her surname.
That's a good point.
She's Odin's daughter, and
Yep.
he's Odin's son.
Yeah. That's how Scandinavian names work. But the Guardians help her try to piece together what has happened to her and take her in, and she helps them fight Thanos. So it's a cool little story. And then I've got one more recommendation. Her first solo miniseries, it was called Angela, Asgard's Assassin. It's by Kieran Gillen, who I really like, and Phil Jimenez. And Angela has kidnapped Odin's new daughter. And Sara, Angela's friend, and later her girlfriend, is also there. And this is basically a deep dive on Angela, how she thinks, her relationships with the various characters in her life. This is very much an Angela story. I think listeners may only know Sara as a Marvel Snap card, but she's more important in the comics than that. So,
Okay.
she's Angela's girlfriend, and she's also an angel from heaven. Important.
Or heaven, like
Yeah. That heaven. Yeah. And that's what I got for Angela. She's a pretty cool character, with a very, very interesting real world backstory.
Yes. a legal limbo character. That's fun.
Yeah.
Quick, has Angela ever been in the MCU? Was she in any of the? I didn't think so. I tried looking her up and I couldn't.
No.
Like, Google was confused.
No,
so
when they revealed that Thor had a secret sister, it ended up being Hela.
Right. Yeah. That's
is
so
not correct, but whatever.
Right. So instead of for my non sequitur recommendation, instead of tracing down the person who played Angela in the movies, I'm just going to talk about a game that I'm playing right now that I very much enjoy, and this is a no-brainer. Like, this is a dumb one. If you own a Switch 2, you should be playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. It is in the same category as Mario Odyssey. It is one of Nintendo's premier platformers that should have been a launch title, but I think they just didn't have it ready when they launched the Switch 2. It is outstanding. It's so much fun. I was thinking about it, like, Nintendo's platformers specialize in just delivering the most fun that they possibly can, and they knock it out of the park again on this one. That is Donkey Kong Bonanza for the Switch 2, and it is a blast. All right, and that will do it today for our Angela episode. I want to thank Stephen and Brad for being here today, a day late, but still here. And I want to thank all of you out there who are currently listening to my voice for tuning in to our podcast. It's a dumb podcast, but we enjoy making it. And that'll do it for us today. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you played some good games of Marvel Crisis Protocol.